45 miles an hour. What the heck, VSETT? I gotta slow down. Oh, yeah, that's fast. Hey you guys, it's Ginger on Wheels here. Those of you who are familiar with the channel saw this scooter last year, and you know that it's my favorite scooter if you've been watching my live streams. I said that I would get one eventually from Rev Rides, and I did. We have got the 60 volt, 28 amp hour VSETT 10 Plus. And thanks to the Rev Rides fall sale, we also have this cool little accessories pouch. And I got a steering damper. Not that I think I need it, but you know, we're gonna test it out anyway. We'll do some install videos. Really excited to get this thing outside. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's go test this thing out, see how it works. Oh, we're gonna make the crosswalk, it looks like. Heck yeah. Holy smokes, can you see that? Those are tears. Not tears of joy, well, tears of joy, but also it's just freezing cold and this thing goes really, really fast. That's the first time that I've pulled a scooter out of the box, put it together, and just ripped that like 50 miles an hour almost straight away. I love this thing so much. As soon as I hopped on, I remembered why it was my favorite scooter. These nice, tall, ergonomic bars, super pillowy suspension, just the overall ride feel. It's really nimble because it's so thin. This thing is just amazing. I was going like 30 miles an hour, and then I forgot I was only in speed mode 1, so I put it in speed mode 3 and it just takes off. Absolutely love this scooter. But anyway, for those of you new to the channel, I'll go over some of the specs on the thing real quick so you know what we're working with. Let's see, okay, starting from left to right, we've got these grips, which have a little flare out for your palm. It's got a turn signal button right here. You push this and it will activate the turn signal back here for I think like 30 seconds or a minute. We have full hydraulic brakes. They're branded VSETT, but I'm pretty sure they're the Zoom brakes that you see on a lot of scooters. Left and right, front and back, pretty straightforward there. The sport button gives you like an extra turbo charge for I think a minute, and it gives you an extra 10 amps I think. So you can pull an extra probably 10 miles an hour out of whatever speed mode you're in. I think you have to be in speed mode 3 to use it. The dual drive motors, this just turns off the front and turns off and on the front motor basically. If you're in single, it'll just have the rear, and if you're in dual, it'll have both obviously. We have this little wiener horn. Can't even hear it at all because I did some preparation before I went out. Put some duct tape over the horn hole here because it's still really wet out. It's been raining, it's fall. I didn't want to get any water ingress in there, so I covered the horn hole with tape. This is the cool little Rev Rides accessory pouch that comes with the thing. Rock solid on there. I have got the VSETT multi-tool in there, and I also zipped in my keys because they were chattering around. Comes with 3 NFC keys, which is something I should mention. You turn the scooter off by holding this power button, it says off, and you push it again and it just says card. So you touch the NFC key to this little section here and then the scooter turns on. So if you keep this thing with you, and you can also program this type of key into your phone, it's like a security feature, which is pretty sweet. I've only seen that in a couple other scooters. This is like your standard trigger throttle assembly here. You go up and down the speed modes by pushing plus and minus. You can adjust other advanced settings in here like cruise control, how hard you want it to accelerate, how hard you want the electronic braking to activate, which it does have 5 different modes of electronic braking. It's got 10-inch tires, and these are sort of like street hybrid-y type of tires. I think I'm gonna try my best to get some off-road tires, or maybe even tires with spikes, and we can do some snow rides. It's got this really sweet springy suspension. I'm gonna replace these probably eventually with an upgrade so I can do some hardcore off-roading on this thing. It's got a very robust latching mechanism, which I failed to secure properly, but just do that, and you pull this up, and then this bars will fold down, and it latches all right into place like that. It's got a front headlight on the front fender here. It's pretty weak sauce though, nothing to write home about. I do sell a firelight, pevfirelight.com, and you can get some sweet headlights you can mount here, and they're just blazingly bright. But it's got the 28 amp hour battery, which is the biggest battery that they can fit inside of this deck. And that gives you, I'm gonna guess, around like 30 miles range at decent cruising speed. There will be a range test coming on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna mount you to my chest right now because I wanna keep riding this thing. It's a beautiful day considering it's the middle of October, and you can see what it's like to ride this thing for yourself. Here we go again, take 2. In speed mode 2, single motor mode. Let's just doink right up this. No problem at all. Such pillowy suspension. By far my favorite part of the scooter, if I had to pick one thing and transfer it over to another scooter, the suspension. It's really similar to the Nami Bernie, which is thousands of dollars more. It's just so pillowy. It's really great. Unless you're cornering at high speed or doing really technical stuff, it's the best all-around suspension that I know of. Let's see, where should we go? There's no outlet down there. That sounds boring. I do need to go to Home Depot. Maybe we can make a trip. All right, let's put it in speed mode 3, dual motor mode. Just immediately fast as heck. Whoa, 35 miles an hour. All right, we're gonna turn down this little trail here. Love this thing so much. Thank you. And take off. Front tire burned out. This thing has just enough power that if I lean forward a little bit, I can prevent the front tire. Oh God, so fast and cold. 45 miles an hour. What the heck, VSETT? I gotta slow down. Oh, yeah, that's fast. As I was saying, this thing has just enough power at max settings that if I lean forward a little bit, I can prevent the front tire from burning out. But it still has an insane amount of pull for a scooter. Any more power and you're just gonna be burning the tread off the front tire, and it's hard to control. And obviously you want as much power as you can get until the front tire burns out. So welcome to VSETT 10 Plus. Some really hardcore trail sections here. This is really like roots sticking out, rocks and cracks. One thing you gotta be careful of on every scooter though, on wet leaves. If you're cornering on wet leaves, very high likelihood of slipping out, hitting your head. This thing just goes. You gotta be careful. Oh, we're gonna make the crosswalk, it looks like. Heck yeah. Let's have some more fun. Let's just do some dumb stuff. Lots of roots here. Suspension taking it like a champ. Oh, fallen branch. Just gonna go right over that. Gonna get this thing proper muddy before I even get to do like a thumbnail picture. Oh wow. Good old VSETT. I can't believe I actually own this thing now. This is mine. I'm keeping it. I'm gonna mod the heck out of it. We're gonna be doing a series of ride videos. I'm gonna try my best to waterproof it. Waterproofing scooters isn't super hard as far as ingress into the deck goes, but it's the little controller piece right here and then the motors. You get a little seepage in there and you're donezo. So I think my plan for this winter is to shrink wrap this thing, like just actually shrink wrap it with heat shrinking wrap. And I found this stuff online called Flex Seal. It's like a clear rubberized coating that dries into like a rubber thin sheet. So I'm gonna spray the exterior of my motors in the Flex Seal stuff, try and keep water out. And I think that will work, I really do. Might Flex Seal the top of the deck too, and then add some grip tape to the top, because that is one small downside about the VSETT. The horn obviously is a total joke. The fact that you can't turn off the turn signals, and also the deck has no real grip tape. Those are my 3 little mini complaints about this thing. Every scooter has got their downfalls. This scooter, those are those 3, and they're the smallest of any scooter, I think, for sure. This is fun on the path and all, but let's have some more fun. If you hear that noise when I'm braking, it kind of sounds like crickets. That's the ventilated rotors. As the pads grab the rotors, creates little air pockets, makes some buzz, kind of fun fact. That happens on every scooter with disc brakes anyways. This thing is stupid dangerous. Just got stuck in the mud. Okay, PSA warning. Be careful if you're riding off-road. Easy to sink down into the grass. I did that on my Cabo Wolf King GT. Flew over the front of the bars on the Cabo GT. That was no fun. The grass is really soggy. You gotta be super careful. And it is October. Like I said, it's been raining super hard. I wanna make sure I didn't damage the fender. Got a little too excited there. Nope, everything's still intact. Got a little mud in my disc brakes. You good, little headlight? Let's make sure the headlight works. Hold the plus button, I believe. Yep, hold the plus button. Headlight still works. All good. Brake lights still working right there. This is just a reflector, it's not an actual light. Always recommend upgrading lights on scooters. Another little plug for PEVfirelight.com. I own that brand. I designed that light. It is made of the highest quality components that I could possibly find because I was sick of buying flashlights on Amazon that just lie straight up. They don't tell you how bright they are. They don't tell you how big the batteries are. And if they do, it's just a straight up lie. So everything on PEV Firelight is super high quality, no lying going on there. 2000 lumen, 10,000 milliamp hour, USB-C charging, and it mounts to most scooter and e-bike handlebars. This is a little tall. Let's see if we can get up this. Yep. I love this scooter so much. I wish the grass wasn't so soggy and I could just go flying off-road like I'm used to. Oh, this thing's too fast for sidewalks. Let's get this baby in the road. Always check the legality of electric scooters in your neighborhood if you're gonna ride in the road. They're cracking down in Australia and the UK. This thing is a little wiggly without a damper. I'm excited to try that RevRides damper. Comes free with the scooter right now, which is not a cheap accessory. Comes free with the pouch during the RevRides fall sale. I'll put a link to the RevRides fall sale in the description because if you're gonna buy one of these things, now is the time. Check out this sidewalk. It is just ruined. VSETT mobbing down like a champ. Tons of big cracks. You could never do this on like a 9-bot. Fly right off. Look at this part of the sidewalk. What are they doing here? Gonna pop in the road behind this van. Always make sure there's no metal plates when they're doing construction. Metal plates get really slippery when they're wet. These little nylon-y rubber scooter tires, very slick. Moss, wet leaves, and metal plates like sewers or just construction plates. Really gotta watch out for those if you plan on taking a corner. This is so much fun, I almost forgot I was supposed to go to Home Depot. Oh well. One thing that I'm really impressed with is that this is, like I said, the 28 amp hour version of the scooter, and it's got the biggest battery they can possibly fit inside of it. And it's really hard for me to tell the weight difference. I'm having no problem hopping on and off things and taking corners, and it still goes blazing fast. Let's get ahead of this car for the truck. Oh, red light. Test out those hydraulic brakes. This thing can stop on a dime. Loving it. All right, let's test out the sport mode from a stop. I'm gonna get going and then push sport, and we're gonna see how much more juice it gives me. Oops, it's already peeling out the tires. Sport mode, okay. Yeah, there is a noticeable increase in speed. You'll notice when you're in sport mode that the right here, where it normally shows if you're in speed mode 1, 2, or 3, it'll actually turn to an S, which is for sport mode. Let's get a little crouch going, see how fast we can get it going up to. All right, full crouch in sport mode, 46 on the flat, and still 45 when I'm standing. Pretty impressive. On most scooters, I'm worried about being on this road because you can see, like this guy on his phone going 50 miles an hour. Did you see him looking at me through the window? I don't know, was he filming me? He had his phone pointed at me. Tons of fun. Let's see, how much battery have I used? I've used 2 out of 5 bars. Wow, these wet leaves are so slippery. Even with off-road tires, you're still going down if you're gonna accelerate and turn on those. Pretty steep hill right here, still going 30. Definitely gonna pass this guy, he's gonna be all mad. On your left, those guys that are dressed up in spandex and think they're Lance Armstrong are the ones that always get super mad at electric scooters, even in the road. Oh man, I love me some VSETT. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be doing a full range test on this thing. We're gonna put the damper on and do some tests. We'll do some night rides. I've got enough battery now that I can take this thing on the Seattle Saturday night ride. Can ride all the way to Seattle and do the loop and come home. We're gonna be doing lots of videos with this thing. I can't believe it's almost been a year since I tested it originally. And ever since then, I've been preaching about how it was the best scooter I've ridden. And it's only like 2,500 bucks. Unbelievable. Excuse me, sir. I need to waterproof the scooter before I blast through puddles like that. Anyway, the Nami's second place. I just smashed this thing over roots in dual motor mode, basically endoed over the front bars in the grass, and it still performs just like it did when I took it out of the box. Absolutely freaking great. Loving this scooter. Hydraulic brakes. Gone 10 miles at really fast speed. 4 out of 5 bars. So it's about what, like 50 miles? Assuming that battery gauge is accurate. Man, I muddied the thing up on the first ride. I knew I was gonna do that. I'm gonna do a little speed run down this road because I'm feeling like I got ants in my pants. Going into sport mode. Speed limit's 40 on this road, but everyone does 50. Let's see if the VSETT can do 50. 46. 47. A little bit of a downhill here though. I don't know that you need a damper. Like, I can corner fine on this thing even at full speed. Let's test the brakes here. All right, you guys, I think that's gonna do it for this video. It's enough VSETT riding for one day. Thank you so much, Rev Rides, for having these scooters in stock. We got the fall sale going on, don't forget. Make sure to subscribe to the Ginger on Wheels channel if you want to see more videos of me just ripping it up on this thing. We're gonna be doing upgrades, range tests, etc. And I'll see you guys for the next video.